You can have all the data in the world that you want, Richard. But if your team isn't trained and motivated to act on it, it doesn't really matter if you have all the data. Investing in your people always pays off at the end.
VOX wins. Yeah, that's an MF Doom poster behind me, which is why we use all caps when you say our company's name. The impact of brand news Dejan Tendu on our charter will have to show up in a future episode. But today, we're blessed to be joined by Luis Carrillo, former Director of Customer Experience and Contact Center Ops at IPSY and Credit.org. Today, we're helping enterprise retail evaluate H2 performance using the right CX metrics and how to stay ahead of customer trends. Luis, what metrics hold more value to you when closing out the year?
Hey, Richard, thank you for the invitation. I'm really happy to be here. So yeah, it's very interesting topic. Closing out the year, I kind of always focus on key metrics. Customer satisfaction is huge for us, especially post-purchase, and especially during refund phase in January when we look at all the refunds cases from customers. We look at closely at NPS and see how loyal our customers are and whether they recommend us or not. Another big area for us is customer effort score and how easy is customers kind of getting through the issues and being resolved. Kind of data challenges are real though. Often our customer data is scattered across multiple platforms. So consolidating all of them into one view is very critical. We kind of launched a performance scorecard not so long ago where we improve our KPIs by 20%, but also save $1 million by aligning metrics directly with our strategic goals. So all of that is making our data actionable across the whole organization a lot more effective.
That's huge wins. No, congratulations. That's really great to see. You make it seem so easy to be able to diagnose and then triage. But where would you say are the biggest challenges when obtaining and analyzing data coming out of H2?
Yeah, of course. Data is so pivotal nowadays. So I would probably say one of the biggest challenges that I see coming, with analyzing data coming out of H2 is dealing with fragmented data sources. Like I said before, customer behavior, purchase data, social media sentiment often lived in different systems. So it makes it very difficult to get a unified view. During the refund phases, which often extends into January and often sometimes into February, focusing on the customer satisfaction and post-purchase experience becomes very critical. Without a unifying data platform, it's tough to get real-time insights that can inform decisions quickly.
In doing these episodes, we've shed a new light on retail leaders as, I would say, responsible gatekeepers who only adopt nascent technology, not really trying to say that acronym for a change, if it provides a safe benefit to their customers. But if you hold that as their North Star like you do, Luis, can you tell us how successful measurement has helped you be a champion for your customers and notched wins for your internal stakeholders as well?
Yes, of course. I think successful measurement has been key to driving improvements in every company that I've been a part of, whether it is a for profit, nonprofit. Our voice of the customer programs, for example, revealed issues with damaged packaging, which then led to changes that boosted customer satisfaction. By using data to align product, marketing, and operations team, we ensure that everyone worked towards the same goals. This approach also help us provide actionable feedback to product roadmaps and marketing strategies. I think, giving feedback, 360 feedback back to the stakeholders is so key. Encouraging my team to also always embrace data analytics made us more agile and customer centric, ensuring better outcomes for both customers and the business.
All right, and this train's never late. Time for some hot takes. Luis, do you have a bold prediction about the future of CS that might surprise your peers?
I'm not a predictor myself, but if I will to predict something, I believe accessibility standards are going to be a major focus. Companies that ignore things like WCAG and ADA compliance aren't just risking legal issues, they're missing out on a whole new segment of customers. Inclusivity design is going to be a big differentiator.
And while everyone has tunnel vision over a certain new type of technology that I truly am going to go an episode without mentioning, give us an underrated variable that impacts your success that your peers may be overlooking.
Yeah, that is very good question, and kind of alluding to a success metric. So I think an underrated or factor for success is definitely employee empowerment. You can have all the data in the world that you want, Richard. But if your team isn't trained to motivate to act on it, it doesn't really matter if you have all the data in the world. Investing in your people always pays off at the end.
Not just a voice of the customer, but also a great people manager and voice for the employee experience as well. We always applaud high EQ people management here on Vox. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with our mission at Vox Wins, we obtain leader preference data for how and when they prefer to work with vendors. So, Luis, bring us into your world. What qualities do you look for in vendor partnerships, and how should vendors support leaders like you when it comes to navigating industry challenges?
Absolutely. Vendor partnership is crucial when it comes to CX and our platforms. When I think about good vendor partnership, three things that comes to mind. One, reliability, two, flexibility, and last but not least, customer focus. Vendors needs to be adaptable because business needs change fast, especially in CX. They also need to integrate seamless with our existing tool like CRM, workforce management systems. And at the end of the day, they should be as committed to improving customer experience as we are on the business side. We partner with AI tools to optimize our omni-channel support, and it made a big difference. Resolution times dropped by 35%, and agent workflows improved significantly. A good vendor relationship is not just about the tools, is about shared goals and real collaboration.
Those are great wins. No, it would make sense. They're going to be an extension of your business. They have to succeed just to the same standard as you do and not slow you down. Luis, for data-driven executives, the world is getting more dynamic more quickly. So let's pivot and talk about adapting to the evolving CX landscape. How have you adopted your strategies to keep up and maybe implement new trends in shopping experiences?
Great question. I think staying ahead in CX means being open to change and focusing on continuous improvement. We embrace automation and ADA to streamline our omni-channel support. The key to me, Richard, is using these tools to enhance the customer experience without losing the personal touch and the curated experience. Voice of the customer programs are also essential. By listening to customer feedback, we made real improvements like enhancing product packaging to reduce the damaged items when members are getting their goods.
I've gotten too many packages that look like they've been suplexed around that UPS truck. Not to call it UPS, but it could be anyone. Any last mile delivery. So it's glad to know that somebody is fighting for my behalf. I thank you on behalf of our audience. Slightly changing our scope just a bit. Why is it important to encourage continuous learning within your team? And how do you promote this culture? And hey, shout out any of your favorite market intel resources while you're at it.
100%. I am a big believer in fostering a culture of kind of continuous learning. Upskilling the team in data analytics, for example, has helped us make more informed decisions and stay agile in a fast marketing. One of the best information intels that I use every day is a very digestible and easy way to get your information, and it's called the Morning Brew, which delivers, daily concise roundup updates about the business world with a focus on insights from Wall Street to the Silicon Valley.
Impressive. Yeah. Marketing Brew, not a sponsor partner of this show, but a friend of the show. We're happy to call out really great work. So that's a free one for them. We love it. Now, I would be remiss if we didn't mention the new technology we're all scrambling to pick up in our free time. Stuff to do with tokens, context windows, NLP, NLU, but I'm still not going to say the name. So how do you leverage, call it automation, to streamline customer journeys without sacrificing the personal touch that customers value?
So automation is very powerful, right? It's a very powerful tool, and I agree. But the key, in my opinion, is using it to enhance personalization, not to replace it. right? We need to make more curated experiences, not sounding robotic. We leverage automation to identify high value customers based on different metrics such as loyalty, tenure, and LTV. This allowed us to offer curated experience and white glove treatment tailored to the purchase history and preferences of our members. For instance, automated insights help us recognize top spenders, right? So that we can prioritize their support requests or offer exclusive perks. Integrating customer data platforms was crucial here. It gave us a unified view of each customer, enabling smarter segmentation and more meaningful interactions. So, like I said, automation streamlined the journey, but the personal touch, Richard, came from using the data that shows that customer truly understood and were valued, right? That's the key.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. You can convince your CFO to give you the budget to get this new technology, and unless you have the right leadership behind it, you're just really not going to get the advantage that you're expecting. Let's zoom out because we love bringing in leaders who can share a good war story, as I always say, and thus the framework of a playbook to help solve them. Luis, do you have a story of how you put out a fire or built something uniquely difficult?
Right, many to count, but I'll tell you one that is very close to my heart in what we all went in the pandemic, right? In COVID. One of the most challenges yet rewarding experience that I had, we had to transition over 100 agents from on-premise contact center to fully remote operations in just 2 weeks. No one saw the lockdown coming, obviously, but we had to act fast to keep up with customer support running smoothly. It was a whirlwind, getting agents set up with equipment, coordinating with IT, and ensuring data was security was a top notch for us, especially in the industry that I used to work, which was very regulated, the nonprofit industry. Despite the pressure, we pulled it off without any downtime, and service levels stay strong. It really shows us how adaptable a team can be when everyone kind of pulls together with the same objective.
That actually helps me think about the old our own COVID transition at the time. You actually make a great point about bringing up the cybersecurity considerations because the whole era seems so long ago, but yeah, I know we had I think around the time earlier, we had gotten ISO 27001 configuration and then would get our SOC 2 compliance approval while everyone was remote. I mean, having to get all that compliance while everyone's distributed. I mean, what a total nightmare. So kudos for being able to make all those different considerations in just a short period of time.
Totally. It was a fun time.
That's one way of putting it. And also, we're talking about this like it's the past, and then also doing a podcast not in a studio, but from our own home offices. So we're I think still feeling those effects and transitioning. Lastly, we love helping out the next generation. So those senior managers will become the next cohort of leaders. So what career advice would you offer them, or guidance on how to direct their own continuous learning?
Yeah, I think there are so much talent out there, and my advice to anybody who wants to become a leader, a senior manager, and above is to always approach everything strategically. Never move without a clear plan. Understand your goals, kind of align them with the broader business objectives, and ensure that every decision serves a purpose. Kind of at the same time, embrace change. We live in a constant change environment. The leaders who really rise above the adversity are the ones who stay adaptable and open to new ideas, whether it is adopting new technologies or shifting team dynamics. Continuous learning is key for me, staying curious, investing in developing your skills, and encourage your team to do the same. Change is constant, right? But who are willing to evolve and lead through it will always come out on top, in my opinion.
Hard to agree. No, what's the old adage, adapt or die? And good on you for pointing out that you have to invest in your team as well and giving them all the same virtues, skills, and advantages that you would as a leader. No ego. It's only going to make us all stronger in the end.
100%. I couldn't agree with you more.
To our audience, that is all the time we have, and we thank everyone for joining us. We'll be back next week as we uncover more of the evolving retail landscape and understand the consensus voice of its leaders, because above all else, Vox wins.